Okay, so in this week's episode of Vibe Club, what I wanted to discuss was the band My Chemical Romance. Now, My Chemical Romance was a pop punk band from the early 2000s, and the reason I wanted to discuss them is because I think they're a great example on how they target an audience, they target a feeling or an issue, and they directly address and target that issue in their music. And we're going to have a look at a few examples of how, as My Chemical Romance is a pop punk band, so they're always playing towards a younger audience, but also in their lyrics, they're specifically targeting ones that are perhaps going through youth or teenage years, because their lyrics tend to address issues such as insecurity, exclusion, mental health, anxiety, depression, loss of loved ones, comforting friends who are struggling with addiction or problems or loss, and then throughout all of it, being able to keep on going. So we're going to have a look at a few examples of where they do this in song, and also how they really convey that feeling through their music as well. So let's have a good look at My Chemical Romance. Okay, so the first example I'm going to have a look at is their song that came out in 2004, which was called I'm Not Okay, brackets, I Promise. Now, I'm going to be listening to the clean version of this, as it's a bit like Radiohead's Creep, where there's two versions. So just a heads up, if you listen to this, that there is a clean version of it. Now, the reason I wanted to discuss this song at all is because I feel like even in the title, this song clearly identifies the exact target audience and the feelings that they're trying to reach. So all the way through this song, it's talking about saying, in the chorus, I'm not okay, trust me, I promise, I'm really not okay. And it's addressing as well some of the issues that perhaps ones feel when either at school they've got friends that don't treat them well, or where it's simply just the problems of being young, where people can be a little bit not always honest, and people can be dishonest, and you end up not making the best of friends and getting affected by that. But ultimately, I feel like this song, my interpretation, because obviously a song can have its initial meaning of lyrics, but the way you interpret those lyrics can be different. Now, for me, what I love about this song is the whole concept of making a song where the whole chorus saying, I'm not okay, but I'm telling you the truth, trust me, I mean it, I'm okay. Now, I think that that's really interesting, because how often do people say, oh, how are you okay, are you alright? And people just say, I'm fine, and it's a famous thing where people say, I'm fine, and they're not fine. And I feel like this song, along with the pop punk guitar work and that kind of really energetic music, is trying to bluntly and directly say, I'm not okay. So when we're always saying, yeah, I'm fine, when really someone isn't fine, well, this song is making a point or a statement of that, where people say they're okay when really they're not. So let's have a little listen to this and you'll see exactly what I mean. Now this bit. That's some MCR do so much. Slow and then really big and fast. And then straight back into the chorus. Okay, we'll leave it there. So, what I really thought is great there as well is something you'll notice MCR do a lot, and you'll see it in a lot of these examples, where they often will slow it down or bring piano in or do something really gentle before then they suddenly go into this really big drop. And the way as well that their lyrics are so back and forward, saying, I really need you to listen to me, I'm telling you the truth, I mean it, I'm okay, and then straight going into the chorus saying, I'm not okay, really just highlights the confusion and the difficulty, we all have, where sometimes we'll say I'm fine when really we're not. And I love that they've just addressed that issue in a song. Now, the next song I want to talk about, and this is just my personal interpretation, so I don't really know what the song is really about, but that's all anything really is, isn't it? It's what a song means to you and how you interpret it. Well, for me, the next song we're going to have a look at is Thank You for the Venom. And what I love about this song is how I feel like it's kind of like a heavy pop punk rock riff with the guitar work. But the reason for that is because I feel like the music itself is expressing the frustration of the main character that's singing the lyrics. Because to me, the song is about having someone that's dear to you, or someone that you know, that is struggling with addiction, whether it's misuse of drugs or perhaps some other problem like their mental health or suicidal or things like that. And I feel like what's amazing about this song is that the whole chorus is singing over and over again that they're going to try and help them through this. They're going to try and do what they can. And I think that that's a really beautiful thing to be expressed. But regardless of the fact that someone's trying to help them, it's still frustrating and exhausting and tiring, which is hence why the whole style and genre of the music, being in this kind of rock, fast-paced style, actually just expresses that frustration that the lyrics are describing. So have a listen to an example of this. I think it's a really good example of how a topic like this can be addressed in music.
You'll never make me leave. I wear this on my sleeve. You wanna follow something? Give me your better consolate. Just give me what I need. Give me your reason to believe. So give me all your poison, and give me all your pills, and give me all your hopeless hearts and make me ill. You're running after something that you'll never kill. If this is what you want, then fine.
So what I love about that is just some of those lyrics are fantastic. I mean, consider the main chorus singing, give me all your poison, all your pills, you'll never make me leave. And I think that's quite a powerful point, that they're not even putting it too poetically, are they? They're just being quite blunt. But then even just singing quite with emphasis, saying you're running after something that you'll never kill, which is almost like an itch that you're never going to scratch. Like, this isn't the solution. The way you're going isn't the solution. And it's singing that, but with frustration, because if you've ever been in a situation like that, it is frustrating from an outside point, trying to help someone with those problems. So, yeah, I think that's a fantastic song by My Chemical Romance, where they really address and confront these issues that people face. So the next song we're going to have a listen to has actually been described, even by Brian May, the lead guitarist from Queen, as the modern Bohemian Rhapsody for another generation. So if from me describing that you already know what's coming, but if you don't know what's coming, I'm going to listen to a little bit of Welcome to the Black Parade, which has got to be one of the most iconic 2000 songs that there is, I think. And usually a lot of people, even from if you just play that first G note on a piano, they know what's coming, which is incredible, which is a little bit like, as soon as people hear the start of Bohemian Rhapsody, they know what's coming. And this song is fantastic for really showing how My Chemical Romance are addressing this issue of loss and the frustration and confusion that come with losing a loved one and going through those stages of grief and trying to come to terms with that. Because in the song Welcome to the Black Parade, it starts with the main character talking about when they were a child and their father taking them to see a marching band. So the music follows the description and the music plays in the style of a marching band. But then that turns into this fast-paced pop punk where it goes on to really address these issues, even to the point where it speaks about we'll carry on, and even though you're dead and gone, believe me, your memory will carry on. And in my heart, I can't explain it and I can't contain it. And it's amazing, really, that they're talking about all of these different topics, doing it in this really powerful theatrical sense. So let's have a little listen to this. And if you haven't ever heard this song before, go and listen to this song, because it's like someone saying you've never heard Bohemian Rhapsody. You need to go and listen to it. So this is Welcome to the Black Parade.
When I was a young boy, my father took me into the city to see a marching band.
So here it's going to slowly speed up.
He said, son, when you grow up, would you be the savior of the broken, the beaten and the damned?
Amping up more.
Because one day I'll leave you a phantom to lead you in the summer to join the
Here we go.
parade.
Oh, those drums are incredible. I'm getting goosebumps right now listening to this. Tried so hard not to sing along. Here we go. Such an amazing song. Okay, so that was Welcome to the Black Parade. Oh, such an amazing song. Just the way it's all written is, I feel like it's just perfectly produced. Such a fantastic song. Now, it's interesting that that is from the album The Black Parade, and that album, I remember an interview somewhere, but I can't quite remember which one it is. But I remember Gerard Way, the main singer of My Chemical Romance, and I'm sure it was saying influences such as Queen and David Bowie were big influences. So The Black Parade is, in a similar way, like a story. So much is the same as how you've heard perhaps albums like Dark Side of the Moon or The Wall, and it's one story throughout. The Black Parade is a story all the way throughout. But I'm not talking about that. I'm just going to pick on little pieces of how those songs can actually have a meaning for people individually as well. But yeah, so Welcome to the Black Parade, talking all about loss, carrying on, trying to give comfort while addressing the frustration that comes with that, and really the theatrical nature of a beautiful piece of music. Now, the last song that we're going to have a listen to, and I purposely picked this one last, because this song is called Famous Last Words, again from the Black Parade album. Now, what I love about this song is the way, whilst a lot of their music has been classed as emo, despite the fact that the band do not want to be called emo, they want to be called pop punk. But what is fantastic about this song is that because a lot of their songs can address kind of sad or difficult or sensitive topics of how people struggle with frustrations, like we've discussed, not being able to express how we're really feeling if we're not feeling okay, struggling with loss, and things to do with that, struggling with helping people that are, finding that they're having problems and trying to help someone through those difficulties. What Famous Last Words does is it addresses the feeling of positively not succumbing to the pressure and not giving up. Now, it does this in a few different parts of the song, so we're going to have a look at two different parts of the song. One, we're going to have a listen to the first verse, which I think is really beautiful, where they're poetically describing bright lights casting a shadow, that weight on them, a life that's so demanding that they're weak, they're struggling to speak, but then going into the chorus saying, I'm not afraid to keep on living. And then later on, we're going to have a look at another part of the song where they speak about not being afraid to be able to keep on going, even with people by their side. So let's have a listen to these two parts of Famous Last Words.
With words I thought I'd never speak, awake and unafraid, asleep or dead, 'cause I see you lying next to me. With words I thought I'd never speak, awake and unafraid, asleep or dead.
So there's just four examples that I thought were good examples of how My Chemical Romance do a good job of using their music along with the lyrics to reach a target audience and try to reach in and express the feelings that their target audience are struggling with. I think that's a very skilled thing to do as an artist, and I think a good example of how this style of pop punk guitar work actually works to this in a good way, because I've seen on YouTube a while ago where My Chemical Romance did a few acoustic covers of these same songs, and it just didn't sound very good. It just didn't seem to work, because the whole message that the lyrics are trying to convey is, like we've discussed, frustration, loss, and the difficulties and confusions that come with that. Well, trying to do that, it stirs up strong feelings and emotions, and the rock guitar and the rock drums and bass line, that all expresses all that energy and frustration in a musical way, whereas acoustic, it doesn't seem to do the job as powerfully. So that's just a very brief example where we've looked at just four songs. I'm Not Okay, brackets I Promise, clean version. We looked at Thank You for the Venom. We listened to Welcome to the Black Parade. And then we finally listened to Famous Last Words.